All right, so we're all welcome to today's section, and yeah. So do we, Dami, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
What's the actual meeting for today?
Wait.
Oh yes, web. Web. Okay, so um, let's do this real quick. Emotional. I need to switch position.
This episode is last class. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it is indeed from our last class. So, I said in our last class, I said the next time we'll be meeting, I'm going to explain to us how to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for our designs, right? So, now, you're welcome once again. So we did this for those who weren't in the last class. So we actually made this with we did this when you double click, it shows something. We did this using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Although that was actually just a preparatory class. So today in this section, we're going to discuss how to build these things from scratch. So we are explaining each concept to us step by step. All right. So first thing first, I'm going to open my VS Code, and then remember, for those that were in the last class, I said you are not allowed to just randomly click on your VS Code icon and then you continue from the last project that you are, just pop up anyhow on the screen, something like this. No, this is not the right way to open a VS Code, like your VS Code. To open your VS Code, you right click on the icon, and then from here you pick the folder that you want to work on. And if you're doing something new or fresh, then you can just click on new window. Then you click on new window, so you're going to get a clean and fresh space. So this is a fresh space right here. And then if you remember, I said you're not allowed to use new file, you're not allowed to use open file, but you must use open folder if you're not cloning a Git repository or connecting to any workspace at all. All right. So now I'm going to click on open folder, and then I'm going to do something on my desktop. So at the left side here, I can use A or A, it's the same thing. So whichever one I use, okay, whichever one works the same way. All right, so I'm going to create a new desktop, a new folder rather. So this was the folder we used in our last session, PLP pairs. So we're supposed to use this one again, but don't worry, let's just do something else. So Control Shift N to create a new folder. Control Shift and N for new folder. Then I'm going to name this folder web dev 01. Hit enter. So after hitting enter, automatically it picks the okay. Do we have anyone with questions? Someone is saying something at the background.
Wait, we see what doing.
Okay, you can't see what I'm doing.
Now we can.
My goodness. How about now? Can you see it now?
Couldn't see what you had.
Go on. You can see it.
Okay, were you seeing it from the start? Like, can you see it from the start, or is it just popping up now?
No,
I think it's that one. From my own end, I can see it there.
Okay, Joanne, you know what you're going to do? I think it's your connection. So you just...
I'm saying.
Okay, you can see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can see it now.
Okay, no problems then.
We want the side of the folder.
Okay, yeah. All right, no problems then. So,
Is
is it my connection? Dami, are you there? Is my connection breaking?
are we together?
Ask your question.
We just to open another folder on the, or you want us to link it with a folder that has been downloaded earlier?
I don't understand. I don't really get your question. You're saying
you open one new, well, you mentioned that the folder has been opened before. We have used it before.
yes.
Can see that you are trying to open another. We should do
Okay. Yes.
enter from new.
Yes. I'm
Like that.
saying yes. The reason why I'm opening a new one is because of those that weren't
So
in
my
class the
question
last
now
time.
are we to create new folder?
Are you to create new folder? No, if you have your folder before, you can reuse your folder. But if you don't, I'm just showing it for those who don't have it before.
All right.
Yes, that's it. Okay. So where did we okay, yes. So let's continue. Let's continue. So please just ask your questions again. So I was actually explaining that I'm creating a new folder due to the fact that I let me delete this folder. This is actually not the correct way of saving a folder. So I'm going to create the folder again, Ctrl Shift N. Then naming this apologies. So I'm naming this new folder. Wait, this new folder, are you sure it doesn't have okay, I'm not sure it has anything, so I'm just going to rename this F2. Alright, so I'm going to name this webdev 01. Then automatically we've picked the folder, so I'm going to select folder, and then this is my folder. So wait, let me reduce this. Okay, so this is what I have currently. All right, so and then let me check the screen if I have my webdev folder now. So first of all, this PC uses OneDrive, so I have to refresh. Okay, so it's here already before webdev 01. All right, so now let's continue. So now I can now close this place. I can close this tab here. I can just quit this tab. Then here in the webdev folder right here, you see we have some icons around it here. So we have the first one, which is new folder. We have the second one for refreshing Explorer. We have the third one for collapsing folders and files in the Explorer, and here to create a new file. So now I'm going to create a new file here in this folder, and then I'm going to call this index.html. all right, are we there? Are we following me? Please let me know in case if my connection is out.
Yes, we are with you. Please kindly
thank you.
continue.
Yeah, I would need our response so I would know that I'm not speaking to myself, I mean my connection is out, because it's happened sometimes ago. All right, so index.html. all right, so now I said today we're going to be explaining line by line, even starting from the boilerplate. Okay, so now HTML, just as I explained in the last sessions for those who were around, I said HTML can be explained using two terminologies. The first one, we have the human, and then the second one we have a house. All right, so and then the one for house has been used in the explanation in the PLP stuff right there, which says the HTML is like the building blocks, like the bricks that you use to build your house, the blocks, the brick, and then the CSS is adding of the roof and then painting the walls and the likes. Then while the JavaScript is like you connecting electricity, connecting electricity to the house so that the house looks functional with the help of TV, fans, wall sockets, extensions, irons, dry cleaners, and so on and so forth. Just think of anything. All right. So now for the human terminology, in the human terminology, the HTML is like the HTML is like the what's it called? The HTML is the skeleton. Is the skeleton? It's just a normal structure that is just there, just holding the body together, but it's just a normal skeleton. And then the CSS, the CSS is like the skin and then the clothes that you put on. The CSS is like the skin and the clothes you put on. And then the JavaScript. So who can guess what the JavaScript actually is?
The soul.
Yes, the soul. Okay, we can say the soul. Okay. So what else can we still use as the JavaScript apart from the soul? We need someone else, suggestions from someone else.
What of blood?
Okay, we can still say blood, fine. We can still say blood, but we need something that's more that brings functionality to the body.
Organs.
Yes, it's the organs, but there is something that actually brings functionality to the body. Somebody.
The brain.
The brain. Thank you. The brain. The brain. So JavaScript serves as the brain for HTML and CSS, because looking at this project that we have here, where is that project again? Yeah. Looking at this project we have here, we use HTML to bring out all these particles you're seeing here. This text, this button, this div container right here, this image placeholder right here. But we used CSS to then add colors. We use CSS to then add colors here. We added color here, added color to the background here. We still use it to give this thing like interchanging color whenever this arrow touches the button, it changes to a pointer as if it's pointing to it. You can see we did this with CSS. Then it will exchange color, which greetings now is green, the background is now white, but here the greeting is white and the background is green. And then it increases in size also whenever this moves to it. And we made this was actually a square before. With CSS we were able to turn it to circle. But all these things are just functions that are like, these are just normal standalone static sites. So with the help of the brain, JavaScript, then it can now work like it can now think by itself. It can now think with what we've programmed in this brain, which is the JavaScript, that anytime user clicked on this button twice, like double click, then project something on the site for the person. So if you should click on this once, it didn't do anything. But once we just click on it double, and then it says welcome to my portfolio card. I hope you can see it now. So it says welcome to my profile card, rather. Welcome to my profile card. So this is the function of JavaScript. It's the brain. It is what is making it to be able to think. Because if JavaScript is not here, no matter how many times you click on this, it's not going to function. All right. So we all guessed right. So we can still call it the soul, because the soul also is like what brings functionality to a human body. So even with the brain and everything, if a body does not have soul, even with the brain intact, like those that are in the mortuary, they can't actually function. So that's actually still a good thing. So, and even if the brain too is intact, without blood also, the body will not be able to function. But the actual answer to the terminology was brain. So, but I still liked this, the other answers that we give, that we were able to share, which is the soul and the blood. So, which is actually, yes, you have a question, please ask. Someone is raising up his hand. Dami, please let me check.
Last time I checked, no one. Continue.
Okay, I thought I had a sound at the background. All right, no problems then. So let's continue. So now we want to understand HTML. All right. So, how do I? Okay, let me break it down into baby step. Now, for HTML, all right. So we've already like understand that HTML is the building blocks or the skeleton, but then HTML name actually, you know, is spring forth from the word. I think we all know this. Let me first comment this side and then say HTML. So, do we have anyone like? Do we know the meaning of HTML? Anyone? HTML. Is there anyone? HTML. Anyone there? Anyone? The meaning of HTML?
Markup language.
Hypertext markup language. Thank you. Hypertext markup language. All right. HTML is an hypertext markup language. Then there is something that I want you to hold in this name called HTML here. Let me close this. Let me just increase this to your screen. All right. So there's something I want you guys to notice here. All right. So it says hypertext markup language. So markup is the name of the language, right? Markup language. So this hypertext doesn't really it actually has its own function too, but we are basing on this. It says markup language. Markup languages are anything that uses what we know as the word tag. Markup languages uses tag. All right. So, and then since we have markup language, yes, you should know definitely we have markdown language. We also have markdown language, although we don't have to add hypertext or whatever, but we have markdown language, MD. So we have markdown language also. Now let me tell you, you see, let's quickly go to the internet and then let me show you markdown language. Let me show you a markdown language. Okay, so let's borrow this tab here. We will be cancelling it later. So let's say GitHub. Okay, let's go to one of my files here. Okay, let's just pick one here. Let's pick my shell. All right, so now this, where's my readme? Okay, yes, see, this my readme file that you're seeing here, this readme file here, let me open it in a new tab, is actually .md. So this .md, this md means markdown. Now let me show you how markdown languages are written. Let me see the code. Let's go to the code. This is markdown language here, right? This is markdown language right here. You can see hashtag. This hashtag, wherever you see something like this hashtag, is going to display what's it called? It's going to display a word in a uppercase heading, like a capital letter, a huge gigantic heading like this. And then when you use 3#, it's just like when you're saying, I believe we are familiar with H1 to H6. So wherever you see 2# is the second hash is like H2, and then anywhere you see 3#, it's just like when you're saying H3. All right, it's just like when you're saying H3 and then 2 for the same thing. So this was actually a shell software, operating system software that we created then during an ALX program then. So we used a mixture of markdown and markup language for the readme because we know it will still be able to read it no matter what. So we used the mixture of HTML and MD to just work on this project because we know it's going to be able to read it as long as we are sending it out here on GitHub. So now what are all these things? Like how do they now appear? How does this markdown language appear? And here you go. This is everything right here, as you can see. This is everything right here, as you can see them. This is everything right here. And then so just as I was saying that anywhere you use one hash, author's image here. Let's go down. Author's images. Then look at it. It wrote like it actually printed the stuff out here in a very gigantic format. Then where we used hash. Then here you can see. Oh, where is it? Okay, I don't know why it's not displaying, but okay, look at it. What am I saying? So this is it here, hash to reduce it to like h3, and then here we used 2 for and lead developer. So like this is 1, 2, 3, and then we use 3 for this also again. 3, then my own name. So this is how markdown languages work. So our readme.md files are actually markdown languages, and then yes, it's just a markdown language. I don't want to dive too deep into this. This is actually not what we are here for. All right, so now let's go back to VS Code, and then now, so tags are what HTML markup languages use. So which means if you want to have a, in the MD there, we used this to get a very huge letter, like huge letter / heading. Let's just call it heading / heading. All right, but here in HTML, what you use are called tags. All right, what we use are called tags. So that means here, to get something relating to that, we have to use what? H1, like this. All right, so now before we break down into it, so just as I've told you, so whatever you have here, it's there are tags that we're supposed to learn. All right, we're going to learn some tags today, and then just to remember that how HTML works is by the use of what we call tags. So we have single tags, and then we have multi tags, or single and close tag. So single tags can be tags like this. Normally, this is how initial tags are supposed to be. These are how tags are meant to be. Then your documents. Let's just call it your document. So you have the tag, you have your document, and then tags. So, but one thing about tags in HTML, it's now that we're using HTML5 and HTML X whatever that's it's like HTML is actually very sweet. Before, when we still use was it HTML, HTML4, or was it X HTML? No, X HTML has been updated too. There is a particular HTML we are using then. Now you can actually write a tag that is not available. Like, you can create your own tag and then just give it your name, PLP, and then you do something here, then you use CSS to work on it, and it's still going to work. But before, if you try something like this, it's definitely not going to work. You're just going to crash things. But the tags now, in HTML, we have many pre-made tags, and they have their own function. For example, if you type just the word A, you can see different type of tags here. These are tags. All these are tags with different kinds of functionalities. All right, so if you use B also, we have different type of tags too. Don't worry, we're going to be using actually, we're not going to be using everything, but it's you don't even have to understand everything, but we're going to be using the most essential ones, and we need to understand the essential ones. All right, so C, D, E, F, G, H, and the like. So every alphabet actually has a tag. So only Z doesn't have a tag. I think Y, okay, yes, Y2 doesn't have it. So now when it comes to the HTML tag, now let's quickly discuss about the boilerplate. Let's quickly talk about the boilerplate. So in HTML, to start your HTML code, you have something like this. We say the first thing we need to do is first inform the web page. All right, we inform our browser, then we are telling our browser that in uppercase. All right, in uppercase. So we are telling our browser that just make sure it starts with this icon here, so that the browser will know that this is very essential to read. So doc type. So here we are saying the document type. So it's just a short word for document type. So the reason why they use doc type, I don't know. They could have just said document type, but I guess it will just be too long for no reason. So doc type, and then we are going to say what? HTML. So now what does this mean? This is what's actually telling the browser that is going to read this our HTML file, that whenever whatever you will be reading from here onward is a markup language, is in markup language. So once the browser reads the first line and it sees this thing, then it's be like, okay, there's something important here. All right, so what do we have here? Then it says, I'm trying to tell you that this document type that you'll be seeing in this particular browser is an HTML file. All right, so then the browser will now say, okay, so this, whatever I'm saying here, are all going to be written in markup language. So definitely I should interpret or print this particular page a markup. So which means it will now be reading for tags from here. So now we've already told it to go to HTML, that everything will be HTML. So what we need to do is create an HTML tag also, HTML. Then if you close this, automatically VS Code is going to close it. So from here, I'll be able to explain what I mean by single tag and multi-tag. So as you can see, this is a single tag right here, because after opening this our less than braces, this our arrow shaped bases, you see that after I opened this and then this particular one here, there is no other thing inside, which means, I'm trying to say that we don't actually have this same thing popping out again, so the other side, and then having forward slash. All right, so this is an open tag and this is a close tag. So we have lots and lots of open tags and close tags. All right, but with the help of VS Code, you actually don't have to want to know how to differentiate them, because if you are writing a tag that has a close tag, automatically it closes it for you. If you're writing a tag that doesn't have, it's not going to do so. So for example, image is not a closing tag, it doesn't have a close tag, it's a self-closed tag. So if you just press image, it's not going to replicate it. But if you do something like body as body is a double is a close, as a closing tag, so see, automatically it generates it because it knows it has a closing tag. All right, so we have single tags and multi tags. They all do the same their functions. They do their functions. Why some are single and why some are open and close, I don't know, and I have not even tried to even make my research to know. All right. So now we have HTML here. Are we with me? Should in case I hope my connection is not out. Are we there? Hello, anyone? My God. My goodness. So it's only the people that are going to be watching the recorded version that will be able to see everything I've been explaining. Ah, my God. I actually just noticed that I was disconnected. I'm just noticing that I was disconnected. Yes, actually, I'm back. My sincere apologies. So please, can we remind me? My sincere apologies. Can we remind me where I actually stopped? Like, where did you guys? I mean, like, where last did you guys oh my God, what kind of life is this? Hello, are we there? Can we hear me now?
You were discussing about the right arrow and left arrow, like right hand side and left hand.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate. What do I do about this thing? Just going, switching network. Okay, let's just hope the same thing doesn't happen again after this. All right, so right arrow and left arrow. My goodness. Okay, so I was saying that after this less down, like the less down arrow and the greater than arrow, this is a single tag, and automatically it didn't actually create a close tag by itself. But for HTML has a close tag, so automatically VS Code will just help you generate that. But so let's use image as an example.
Hello.
Again. Yes, I can hear you.
I can't see your screen here.
I still forgot to share my screen.
Likewise, myself, we can't see your screen.
All right, so how about now? Can we
It's
see
true,
it
it's
now?
true.
All right, so no problems. So let me just get back in. So now, I was saying that here we have self-closed tags or opening tags or single tags, and then we have closing tag, multi-tag, whichever name you can give to it. So now, with the help of VS Code, you don't actually have to like know all the tags that has opening and close, because for example, image, the image tag doesn't actually have like a closing tag. So if I should type image, you see it's not doing anything. But another example of a multi-tag or self-closing tag is body. So if I should say body, automatically VS Code is going to add the close tag. All right, so that's how it works. So we're going to like just leave this. All right, so now HTML is a self-closing tag, so I don't know why, and I have not bothered checking. Then now inside this HTML, remember that we already told the browser that what we are going to be reading here is HTML tag, like it's a markup language, so everything must stay inside this markup section here. All right, so now here we are going to have another tag. So everything you want to do on everything you're trying to code must be inside this HTML to close HTML. If you're doing it outside here, you're wrong. All right, you are very, very wrong. So inside here, the first thing we want to do is bring in the head. All right, so HTML comprises of the doc type, the HTML. Then after the HTML, we have the head section. All right, we have head. Head is also a multi-line or close tag. Now this head right here, inside of this head will contain some basic things. We're not going to do the meta yet. We are going to learn about meta later. All right, but first of all, one thing that is very essential in the head right here is there are lots of things that we add here in the head. For example, the meta, for this is for the site's SEO and so on. All right, so then we also here we can also do what? Here we can also add here we can also add the title of the page. All right, which we're going to do. And then after the title, we can also do what? We can also link our CSS, which is the crayon we're going to use to style our website. Are we there? Let me quickly ask again. Are we with me? Are we? I think I'm disconnected again.
We are with you, sir. Please.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now inside this head, so I'm going to do something. So if you're watching this, maybe you're following with your PC, just go to the extension tab right here at the left side here, this extension tab right here, click on it and then search for live server by Retweak Day, whichever one. Just make sure it's Retweak whatever you find there. Okay, so Retweak Day, then just in the search section here, just type live server and then hit enter, or just wait for it to refresh. Then you're going to see one called Read by Retweak Day. All right, we have live preview too, but I will not recommend this. I recommend live server. All right, so once you get the live server, click on it and then click on install. So for myself, I have it installed already, so that's why it's showing on install. I'm just going to cancel this tab and then return back to our Explorer tab. So now what I want to do is run this. Okay, I want to run this. So I'm going to add a title tag here in the header. So I can actually just type it TITLE and then hit enter, since VS Code already understand that that's what I want to do. So just hit enter. So this is the title tag. So it has been added already to our nested this thing here. Okay, so inside this title tag, this is where we now give this particular tab a name. For example, let's go back to the internet again and see an example. So here, what you're seeing here says FRR4 simple blah 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 whatever. Even if we go to Google, let's go to Google. Let's just go to Google like this. Then if you check here, you see Google-search. All right. So this is where our title comes in. All right. So then the title, we're going to have let's call this my portfolio website. All right. So now let's run this. I'm going to right click on this, and then after right clicking on it, you know, I've installed Live Server already. So Live Server actually won't work if we do not add the body. Yes, ask your question. Okay, nobody. All right, so I'm just going to right click this, and then open with Live Server. So once I click on open with Live Server, it's going to bring us to a web page here, but there's something I want to show you. So you can see at the top of the tab here, it says what? My portfolio website, just as we've said. So my portfolio website. Now let's remove this, and remove this. So I can just bring this here and then place this here. All right. So now let's continue. So now we've named our we've given a title to our page right here. All right. So and then just so you can see, I can say my portfolio websites, and then you can see my portfolio websites. All right. So I'm just going to remove this website, and then automatically, so you see what you're doing as you're doing it. All right. That's the function of Live Server. It's really helpful. So now let's go to the next line. All right. So now after head, immediately after the head, we have another tag called the body. Then enter. So inside this body tag is whatever you type. Is what you're going to see here. Like inside this body, whatever you type in it, you're going to be seeing it right here on the main web page. For example, welcome everyone. Sorry, I don't know why I keep typing nonsense these days. Welcome everyone, and this double E, and I am happy to see all of you. All right, so let's wait, and then there you go. So this is something appearing on our screen here that says welcome everyone, and I'm happy to see every one of you. Or what was it say? Okay, see all of you. All right, so I'm just going to cut out this, then now explain. So here we are trying to make a demo site. All right, we are just trying to create a demo site while we explain line by line. So all these things, I'm still going to remove them, and then we're going to do something afresh, you know, something meaningful afresh. All right, so now, so we first of all, so we need to learn page structure. All right, so we need to learn how to write the initial like tags that are needed. For example, the H1, we have H1 to H6, which is for heading, and then we also have paragraph, which is P. So we're just going to test them out. All right, we're going to test some of these tags out here before we go to our initial stuff that we're going to be creating. So let me check if our class is up to 30 minutes. Okay, it's up to 30 minutes. I need to cut this so I can start another session. So pardon me.